All right, let's give this a go. Just gonna wing it. In the garage, it's Saturday. Well, let me just start with that. So today is the third Saturday of January. So that means statistically, most of you have given up already on your New Year's resolutions. Couldn't even make it a month. So, two thoughts on that. One, why'd you make it in the first place if you weren't going to stick to it? Two, why'd you quit? If it's something that 3 weeks ago you said you really wanted to do. There's a lot of things that you can analyze, think about, talk about, and all that other stuff. But basically, it just boils down to it sounded good. You don't really want it. It's just a fad. You know, it's like Starbucks coffee. Is it really that much different or that much better than anything else that's out there? Or is it just the cool thing to do? Anyway, I don't, so it doesn't really matter to me. But think about that. If you wanted it 3 weeks ago and you gave it up, why did you give it up? Maybe go in and game plan it a little better. You gave up because you gave yourself 2 weeks to see results that other people have had, but those other people have been working on it for months, years. Okay? It's one of those things where what you manifest is what comes out. So even though you may see, like for example, for me, with this stuff, Unicity, I jumped on it. First week, I lost 11 pounds. Okay? It's just the way I'm made up. It's what I changed in my habits that caused that sudden weight loss. There's people we know that have been on it that have lost 4 pounds in 2 months. Okay? So the weight loss, that's not a fair marker of how it's working, because that's not originally what this stuff does. I mean, it's not like I can contact me, I will sell you the product, and I will guarantee you will lose X amount of weight in X amount of time. It's not how this works. It's not what it's about. You contact me, I can sell you this product, and I can guarantee you will feel better. Your body will start to go back to its natural state and get, with a corrected habit of eating and intermittent fasting, along with the help of this product, get your body back into a state of which it was originally created. So if you've given up on your New Year's resolution already, stop, think about it. Just spend this weekend, okay? Think about it. Was it a goal you really, really wanted, and did you plan it through properly? If not, go back to the drawing board, get back on the horse, and get your ass in gear. Okay? I don't care if you lose 1,700 pounds, if you make $1 million this year. I don't care. It will not affect me in one way, shape, or form. I do care if you're watching this. It means that we're at least Facebook related. I do care that if it's something that's important to you, you're willing to put in the work to do it. If it's weight loss, if it's getting healthy, if it's doing that, I have something that I can directly help you with. If it's making $1 million, if I could help you with it, I'd be doing it. I'd be a millionaire. Okay? That's one of my goals this year, is not to make $1 million, but to get my finances in order, because you're at that point, like up to now. I mean, I'm in my 40s. Things start to be, the world is viewed differently, and so you start thinking about more of the other side than you do getting up to this point. So that's one of my main goals. But anyway, so little rant there because it's the third Saturday. And statistically, the majority of people are already done with New Year's resolutions. So there's that part. The other thing is, this one's been on me for a while, and I made I typed out a few posts and things like that, and it never really. But it came up again this morning when I got up. It was just one of the thoughts in my head as soon as I got up. One of the reasons being the service that Pastor Daryl's doing with the Hills is, exile and stuff like that. But I was watching. We weren't able to go because of hectic schedule. The online, and I just caught a clip. But he's talking about getting into the Bible, and if you know more worship songs than you do scripture, your priorities are off. And it kind of falls back to the whole New Year's resolution thing. Is it's easy to sing the songs on K-Love, on Way FM. It's easy to do that Sunday mornings in church. Your hands in the air, get to moving and feel good, singing songs. But what happens when it gets real? What happens when you're faced with that adversity? Okay, maybe some of you gave up your New Year's resolutions because you were expecting a fastball and you got a nasty slider. And you swung and you missed horribly. What do you do now? Worship songs are great. They help keep you going. They help fuel what you're doing, but they're not the core. I just thought about this one too because you can see that. It's a little chilly out here in the garage. So one of the things I'm working on is this heater, getting it going so that I can put it in the front garage so Brienne can start doing her workout stuff again. But when it comes to that thought process, in the back garage, which is where I do all my work, I've got just this stove heater, or this 2-barrel stove. It's not doing so great, okay? I haven't really tried to get it going this morning. I just kind of threw some stuff in there. I don't know if it'll be able to see it or not, but there's a log. Or not a log, but a tree branch from one that fell off in the storm and all that stuff. It ain't burning so well. I have pumped this thing full of cardboard, and it will give me a flash fire that will warm up this area for about 10 minutes. And then we go right back to, that's what that message means. Cardboard is worship music. It'll make you feel good for a few minutes, but it won't carry you through. Because it's not that does it. It's the Bible. It's the scripture. It's reading what he has to say for you. So with that, what was weighing on my mind is one of the most underrated, I believe, underrated Bible verses out there. Everybody knows John 3:16 and Genesis 1 and in the beginning and all that. There's so many of them out there that get quoted all the time. Tattoos and shirts and merch and all that crap. But it's Luke 23:44. And it's you'll be hearing it more frequently coming up because it has to do with Jesus on the cross. But it's not Jesus on the cross that verse is about. It's about the man on the right. The verse, he asks, "Will you remember me?" To which Jesus replied, "I promise you, you will be with me in paradise." And the reason why that sticks with me is because we've gotten so many things wrong over the years. It's not about how high your hands are raised on Sunday singing those songs. It's not about how much money you've given to the church. It's not about what clothes you wear to church. It's not about what everybody else thinks of how good of a Christian you are. It's not about being baptized. It's not even really about taking communion. If you took it 10 times and I took it once, you don't have a better chance of getting to heaven than I do. If you've never taken it, you have just as good a chance of getting to heaven as I do. It all helps. It's all part of what gets it going. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand the scripture and you don't understand what it's about, you're no good than this thing right here with some wood in it that's barely charred on the outside edges of it. In order for this garage to get warm, that wood has to be glowing all the way through. A little bit of cardboard, a little bit of flash fire on the outside of it's not going to help. You have got to get it deep inside and manifest it in there. So I think that gets overlooked a lot. And churches in the past have done a very bad job of humanizing everything because it's not about humans. It's something way greater than that. But so much focus and time and energy gets spent on what it looks like to other humans instead of what it truly means. The guy's up there on the cross, dying. He can't hop down and go to church on Sunday. He can't get baptized. He can't do anything other than go, please forgive me. I believe you. I want to be with you. And allowed Jesus in. The moment that happened, I promise you, you will be with me. So it's a pretty powerful thing. And I don't know why. It's just been weighing on me for the past few weeks. And like I said, I've typed out a few different things and it just never really. So this morning, I'm like, well, whatever. It was on my head. It was in my brain this morning. So I'm like, yeah, today's the day. I'll post something about it. But anyway. So that's what I'm doing this Saturday morning. Trying to get a barrel stove going while working on that thing so that she can work out in the front garage and continue her journey, which she is kicking ass at. She's not built for cold weather, though. I mean, obviously, she's smoking hot, so why would you go want to be in the frozen tundra? But help her continue on her journey and her path and her goals because she's crushing them this year. And then an old friend of mine, El Wendy, is going to be back to daily driver status this weekend. Got new rear shocks. I'll post a picture of the one that's on the right rear. It's like, I don't even know. It is non-existent. And then I've even got a dash camera. So there's that. Cooling fan is for Benny, which is the Grand Cherokee. The electric fan took a crap. It's killing the battery and it's overheating. So I'm going to do it. And this is kind of like another thing that's just a me thing. And maybe it's why I'm just wired that way, I guess. This is a cooling fan off of a 4-liter Ford that is going onto a Jeep Grand Cherokee with an inline 4-liter to replace the electric fan. Things, just because they aren't labeled for a specific application doesn't mean you can't use them. These shocks that I'm getting ready to put on here, these are not for a Jeep Cherokee. Now, Wendy has a 2-inch lift, and so the stock shocks are completely blown out because they didn't get replaced. But this shock is going to go on it. This shock is for a Chevy S10. When you go into any parts catalog, they will tell you this will not fit a Jeep Cherokee. I will show you a picture later of how it will literally bolt on to a Jeep Cherokee. Because at the end of the day, it's not what the catalog says does or doesn't fit. It's what it actually is. So when you take the shock, this is called collapsed length. Okay, that's as small as it can get. When you take this little blue band off, it expands. If it's a gas shock, it'll expand. If it's a hydraulic, you have to pull it out, and it'll expand. That is called the extended length. As long as you know what those measurements are, what mounting style it has, because there's difference. There's some that have a bushing on both ends. There's some that have a stud that comes out that you put a nut on top. It's amazing what you can make work if you really know how it works. So instead of buying $150 shocks for this thing, these are stock replacement shocks for an S10 that have the same collapsed length and same extended length that I bought on a wholesale site for $15 a piece. That's just how I'm wired. Just because you say this is how it's supposed to go doesn't mean I'm going to take it at face value. Maybe that's why I've got these thoughts running through my head. But anyway, if getting healthy was your New Year's resolution that you've already given up on, give it another shot. I've got some stuff that can help you. If you are on, and this is probably the most serious part of it, if you are on the verge of giving up, just give yourself one more day. Don't quit today. Tomorrow, when you get back at it, and you get back on that, do yourself a favor. Don't quit today. Just give it one more day. See how far you can take it. You made it for a reason. Don't give up on yourself.